Walkthrough, Part 27. What did you call me? Save 27. Check out the statue to the right of the save point. Not only is it of a naked woman, but it's also clearly movable. Slide it to one side to reveal a small hole, which Sarah slithers through. She hits the switch on the other side to open a door down the hall. Follow the hall through the door and into a covered patio. There's a convenient lever in the center of the path. Wonder if that door will open when you turn it? Turn the gear clockwise until the door opens. Down the hall you find your new girlfriend, who continues to give you a hard time, and a mirror, which has a handle so that it can be turned. You'll also spot a few very ugly creatures wandering around the room just beyond the hall. Grab the handle and turn the mirror so the light shines into the next room. This really isn't necessary right now, but it's fun. Enter the room with your sword drawn as there's a battle royale and it's starting right about now. You face both red and blue knights, but you have a very open area to play with. Keep moving and use your freeze power on the blue knights as often as possible. There are two things in your favor here. First, Sarah is rarely in danger during this battle, and second, you have a few seconds between enemy waves when you can refresh at the fountain in the center of the room. Finish off your enemies. There are 4 waves, but if you move and use your wall vault attack, you should be okay and go to the save point that appears. This offers a more clear vision of what you must do in this room. Walkthrough, Part 28. The Hall of Learning, save 28. To solve the riddle of the Hall of Learning, you must position all of the mirrors so that they reflect a single beam of light to the proper location. To get prepped, head back towards the entrance and look right. There's a breakable wall here, so go on and break it. This will allow the flow of light to go undisturbed. There are 2 types of mirrors in this room. Some could only be swiveled, like the mirror you turned earlier. Others can only be moved along the floor. Your first mission is to get all of the movable mirrors into their proper position. Walk the floor, going clockwise, and look at each mirror. Notice how there are dark brown spots near the mirrors. That's where they need to be. Grab each mirror and move them into position. There are a total of 4 on the ground floor. Moving one of the mirrors reveals a crack, which Farah slips through. You're not done with the mirrors yet. You need to adjust each one so that the light is bouncing to another mirror. You want perpendicular lines of light, so grab a mirror and shift it slightly to the left, right, up, and down, until you have 2 shafts of light beaming out across the room from the mirror. The final mirror to adjust is the one behind the broken wall. You need its light to shine on the symbol in the center of the room. When you shine fully on the symbol, a cutscene begins, showing a large structure emerges from the block at the center of the room. This will allow you access to the upper areas of the hall. Use a wall run to get up to on top of the block and then another to climb the first level of the new structure. From here you can edge your way towards the spike pits. You can leap from here onto the archway by the exit. Perform a tightrope walk up the broken spine and leap to the ledge connected to the wall above the exit. Wall run to the left to get to the next platform. Move along onto the thin ledge. You are now above the save point. Leap backwards and swing on the bars to get to the next platform. Once there, Farah pulls a lever which reveals a symbol identical to the one that allowed you access to the upper areas of the hall. Look for the white tile on the pillar opposite the bookcases. Run up the pillar to kick the tile. This moves one of the shelves outward for a short period of time. Run up the pillar again and do your best Mario impression, bouncing between the 2 until you reach the top. You must hurry, before the shelf recedes, and wall run to the right to reach the next platform. From here, run along the wall again and jump as you cross the second window to reach the ladder. Swing to the other side of the ladder and climb up. Don't sweat the pinching jaws above as they can't reach you when you first step onto the platform. Look right to find a retrieve. Wait for the jaws to recede, then run straight up the wall and jump to grab the beam overhead. climb up and do a tightrope walk across. As you reach a T-intersection, part of the beam breaks and bats appear. You know how to take care of them. With the bats gone, leap across to the next beam and then drop down to the platform below. Take a good long look at the blue crystal ahead. It's important. You do not need to get to the platform with the blue crystal, however, there's an entrance to your mystical health fountain there and getting past the blades is easy. Wait for the near blades to go below you and the distant blades to go up high. The moment the near blades pass beneath you, wall run across. Smash the breakable wall behind the blue crystal and head down the hall to earn some extra health. To return to the platform you were on, run when the near blades have just passed eye level. There's a beam connecting from the middle of the platform you're on. It leads to a central platform with a mirror. Cross the beam and jump the gap which occurs when part of the beam ahead of you breaks. It's time to start shifting mirrors. Rotate this first mirror 90 degrees clockwise, so that the light shines in the opposite direction from where you just came. Walk along the beam to the right of the ray of light. When you reach the T-intersection, the right half of the beam breaks, so walk left. Jump to your right onto the platform. Jump up to grab the bar. You need to get up to the bar directly above the one you're on, so jump to the wall then vault off the wall and grab the higher bar. Shimmy slightly to the right and jump to the beam. Move across the beam to the long platform with the two mirrors. Drop down and pay attention to what Farah says. It's not actually important, just wanted to make you listen. You need to position the two mirrors so the light bounces to the blue crystal. Look closely at the wood and you'll see some dark stains where you need to move the mirrors. Make slight adjustments until the light travels at right angles to the blue crystal. Adjust the mirror with the beam pointing towards the blue crystal until you initiate the cutscene. You now need to adjust the mirrors on the middle tier. To get down to that level, look to the left wall of the mirror you're at. You can run along the wall to a small ledge protruding from the pillar. Do so and then drop 2 levels. Edge around to the other side of the pillar and leap to the stone platform. From the stone platform, you can wall run down to the mirror. Turn the mirror 90 degrees clockwise. This causes several platforms to extend from a nearby wall. Leap across the platforms to meet up with Farah. She mentions there was another symbol down on ground level. Looks like it's time to go low. Head to the other end of the balcony, to the edge with no railing. Drop down on top of the bookshelf to nab a retrieve, then climb back up to Sarah. You're close to finishing off this room, but it's not over yet. Notice that the center pillar against the railing has a big chunk missing. You can run up this pillar and grab onto it, then shimmy around until your back is to a handy rope. Leap backwards to grab the rope. Look for the next rope nearby. Be sure to slide down to the end of your rope before you swing. Do your swashbuckling impression and swing from one rope to the next and from that rope to the ledge against the wall. Make your way along the ledge, heading to the right. You'll need to leap up to a higher ledge when the lower one crumbles, but that's easy stuff. Once you are all the way to the end of the ledge, leap to the ladder and climb up to the platform above. There's a breakable wall. Smash it to discover a mirror and another breakable wall. Break the next wall as well to find a lever hanging from the ceiling. Pull it to create some platform in the main room. However, you're not done here yet, as there's another breakable wall ahead. This one reveals another crystal. Head back to the mirror you just discovered. Pull it back towards the wood flooring and you'll find another grody dark stain. Run across the newly extended concrete platforms to the 2 mirrors resting peacefully on the wood flooring. These 2 have served their initial purpose and no longer need to direct light in the current direction. Move the first mirror out of the way, then drag the mirror at the far end into the first mirror's position. Adjust so that the light heads towards the mirror past the concrete platforms. Return to the mirror and adjust it until its light beams at the crystal that's located past the 3 broken walls. This unlocks the gate so you can finally finish up this mammoth puzzle. To get down, head to the newly lit crystal. You can hop the wall and drop down a series of ledges, then hop to a broken pillar and then to the ground where fair Sarah awaits. Head through the door to grab your new big sword. Pull back the lever found at the back of the room. This opens up the exit, but it will quickly close, so run across the room and roll under the door. Your reward for all of this is a battle. Once you get down the halls you will need to fight off a little over a dozen enemies, a mixture of red and blue knights. These are narrow paths, but this makes the wall vault attack all the more effective. Don't worry about Sarah unless you hear her screaming. Instead, focus on rolling behind blue knights and striking fast. The power of restraint will help you greatly, don't shy away from using it. When the sand knights are annihilated, head to the save point, which is located up the ramp and to the left. Don't head up the stairs or you'll lose your chance to use the save point. Check out the gruesome vision and save your game. Walkthrough, Part 29 Observatory, Save 29. Once you've had your fill of visions, head up the stairs. Sarah pulls a lever, which raises the stairs so you can access the upper part of the observatory. Leap across the gap and go to the left to grab a retrieve. Now head right and leap to the flagpole. You need to get to the balcony above, which you can do by swinging to a flagpole, turning around, swinging to the next, and so on until you reach the balcony. Take a look out at the room. There are 8 colored orbs, representing the 8 known planets. Pluto had not been discovered during this time period. You'll also see an orb on the platform you're on. The orb has a handle which you can use to turn it. This turns the planetary orbs. This is, of course, not the only orb gear in the room, so prepare yourself for another fun puzzle. Turn the orb clockwise 3 times. You'll hear it click each time. Hop onto the bar and you will be able to swing your way straight across the room, grabbing onto the cylinder that hangs in the center of the room as you go. Continue to vault until you are on a platform with the next movable orb. Move this orb clockwise 3 times. Hop onto the bar at the edge of the platform and swing back to the cylinder in the center of the room. Look for the platform with the white tile on the wall and a lever hanging from the ceiling. You can get to this now, leaping off the cylinder to a bar and then swinging to the lever. As you pull it down, the planetary orbs spin in a seemingly random order. Don't worry, this is what you want. Jump to the wall, pressing the tile on your way down. This produces several concrete platforms along the wall. The platforms last for only a few seconds, so quickly wall run the gaps to get to the next movable orb. Do not move this orb, it's right where it needs to be. Use the bars to return to the center cylinder. To the right you should see the final platform you've yet to visit. Swing on over and grab the lever. This opens the gate below. Jump onto the thick rope and slide down, leaping from rope to rope to make your way down safely. At the bottom you'll see another lever, but don't bother to grab it, as it's one Sarah has already used. Head through the door and into the next booby-trapped room. To one side is a water fountain guarded by 2 spiky poles. They are easy to sidestep, so go ahead and freshen up before moving on. When you're ready, head to the edge of the first trap. There are dual sliding blades on either side of the corridor. To avoid, choose one side, wait for the blades to recede and then run. When the blades appear again, roll under them, up and jump, and continue forward. Wait for the spiked log to swing overhead, then run the wall. You'll grab the edge of the pit. Pull yourself up and enter the second part of the booby-trapped hallway. This short corridor is rather easy. Run along the left wall to avoid the sliding blade and the spiky floor. See the yellow tile on the floor? Wait for the blades to pass, then step on the tile and move back before the blades reappear. Head through the door into the final stretch of hallway. Pull back the lever on the wall to open the far gate for a short bit of time. Go against the left wall, rolling under the blades as they come and then under the door. Before you can save, you'll need to survive another battle. Fortunately, you can drink plenty of water before your enemies even give you a second glance. Use the wall vault attack to knock down enemies, and don't hesitate to freeze them to gain some breathing room. When the sand warriors are obliterated, go to the save point for one of your less traumatic visions. Walkthrough, Part 30 Hall of Learning Courtyards, Save 30. You need to get to Sarah, and the only way to do that is to get above the courtyard. Climb the ladder in the corner, to the left of the fountains. From the ladder you can leap back to grab hold of a small stone ledge. Make the leap across the gap and continue along the top of the decorative archway. Vultures attack, so stop and take care of them before moving on. Move along until you see a rope hanging from a beam. Leap to the rope. Swing from the rope to the beam on the left. When you jump, push up to launch yourself at the beam. Move against the wall and jump to the pole. Swing from the pole to solid ground. The vultures give you the eye, but don't attack just yet. Wall run to the broken wood beam. Pull yourself up and turn to face the vultures. Leap to the bar and then swing to the walkway where the vultures await. As soon as you pull yourself up, take out your sword and swing to kill both vultures before they can take flight. Run along the wall to your left and grab hold of the wood beam. Walk to the end of the beam and jump to the rope. Turn on the rope and swing to the next rope. You can now easily swing to the stone platform sticking out from the wall. Swinging sure is fun. Wall run to the right to the platform well below you. Drop down to the platform below and head into the room and not over the scary spiked floor. Grab the lever and turn the gear clockwise one full revolution to open the door for Sarah and, in turn, open your way to the next area. Step out of the room and you'll see that the door beyond the pit of spikes is now open. Guess where you're going? You don't have to jump the spikes or anything silly like that. Instead, leap over the railing and shimmy past the spiked floor, then pull yourself up and head into the next fun-filled room. Inside this new room there are two ways to go. There's a door to your right and some missing stairs to the left. Don't bother with the doorway, as it only leads back to where you've previously been. You're gonna have to take the stairs that no longer exist. This is not as tough as it looks, despite the spinning blades. Run the length of the wall, and when you are over the blade, jump off the wall. You'll land past the blade. Repeat this to avoid the other two blades on your way down the stairs. When you reach the bottom, you'll be attacked by some scarabs. Crush them and grab the retrieve in the corner by the stairs. Move through the door to meet up with Sarah once more. The door to your left leads back into the courtyard, so drink up if you need some healing. When you're ready, continue down the corridor. You'll need to take out several scarabs and leap across two spike pits, but it's nothing you can't handle. Head outside to get your first view of the Tower of Dawn. Home looks important. Perhaps even more important is the battle at hand. Leap across the gap and take out your sword. There are 14 enemies who will spawn during this battle, but only a handful of large sand warriors. There's nothing new about your tactics here, but know that you will be refilling your tanks after the battle, so use all of your time powers. After the battle, don't go to the save point. Instead, head down to the level below. Follow the full path on the lower level to find two retrieves and a fountain. Once you are healed and fully powered, head back up to the save point and take a peek into the future. Walkthrough, Part 31 on the ramparts, Save 31. So now it's just an easy jaunt to the tower, right? Wrong, bucko. Leap the gap and continue along the rampart to the closed door. Your girl crawls under the gate, of course, leaving you to find your own way in. Look left. Leap over the ledge and then jump to the bar. Swing from the bar to the beam. Shimmy around the wall and then leap to the next landing. As you step onto solid ground, a cutscene shows that the ground was not solid at all. You awaken in the prison. The only choice you have is to battle through the prison. But first, you better strip off your shirt. Take the ladder down to a metal platform. From here you can run the wall, across a tile, to reveal another platform for you to land on. Continue moving counterclockwise, running along walls. You'll eventually hit a lift. Ride it down as far as it goes, then run along the wall and across the tile once more. Continue along clockwise to the next lift and take it down. It's now time for a slightly new wrinkle. Run the wall to the corner. When you hit the tile, jump off the wall to reach the next platform. Continue along like this until you get to a point where there is no corner and no tile to step onto. There is, however, a cage hanging from a bar. Run to the corner, then jump to the bar. Swing from the bar to the ladder against the wall and take it down to the next metal platform. Your last set of tricks is slightly more complex. Run along the wall and leap as you hit the tile to grab a nearby bar, which you then must use to swing to the platform that appears. The platforms only stay for a short time, so you must act quickly. Hold down the special action R1 button the entire time. As soon as you touch down on a platform, get to the other side and do your wall running magic again. Eventually you'll leap to a ladder. Slide down to the prison floor. Who said prison was so bad? I mean, these guys are so nice to come out and welcome you. A few of them even want to go clubbing your head, that is. These blokes, blacksmiths and small warriors, are much easier to handle than the blue knights and large warriors. Move around and use your wall vault often. There's a retrieve in here, so you will be able to refill your tank after the battle. That means you should use your powers liberally. Once the sand demons, 11 small warriors and 9 blacksmiths are defeated, look for the retrieve inside of a broken cell. There's also a fountain in the corner. Heal up and save. Walkthrough, Part 32. A prisoner seeking an escape, save 32. Next to the water fountain you'll find a bunch of barrels. Smash them to reveal a yellow tile. Stepping on the tile opens the door, but the moment you step off, the door closes. Good thing there's a crate on the other side of this area. Head over and grab the crate, then drag it all the way back and onto the tile. Enter the hallway, and as you reach the corner, look to the wall on the right. It's breakable. Smash it and head through to visit your psychedelic bridge and gain a boost to your health bar. Now it's time to deal with the tricky process of opening the gate. You must kick the yellow tile on the left wall and get through the gate before it closes, all the while avoiding the nasty sliding blades. The best way to do this is to stand at the edge of the blade wall. The moment the blades disappear, run along the wall and leap back when you are across from the tile. You won't hit the tile, but you will leap over the blades as they pass and you'll land directly under the tile. Quickly run straight up the wall to activate the tile, then roll to your right, underneath the blades and head through the gate before it closes. It's tough, but you can do it. You're now in the torture chamber. Creepy. Grab the retrieve on the floor and get ready for some serious platforming. Note the 2 levers on either ends of one wall. Pull one fully back to move one column out. Run to the other lever and pull it back to move its column out. You can now ping-pong between the 2 to get above them, but they are quickly receding, so you must be quick. Once on top, run straight up the wall and jump backwards to grab a wood beam. Climb up to and some bats come out. Take out your sword and do your thing. Now comes the fun part. Walk to the end of the beam and jump the gap. See how there are 2 white tiles on the walls to either side of you. Leap to one and as you hit the tile, jump backwards to the beam. This moves one of the columns ahead of you forward. Just like the previous platform challenge, these columns recede quickly, so you need to leap to the other tile and then come back. Walk the beam towards the wall and then Mario between the 2 columns until you are up top. As soon as you are on top, run straight up the wall and vault backwards to grab the bar above. Swing on the bar and leap off. As you hit the wall, jump backwards to grab the next bar. Do this one last time to get up to a beam. Walk the length of the beam and leap to the long bar in front of you. Swing and leap to safe ground. You're getting close and the hard part's over, so don't give up now. Be sure to snag the retrieve on the ground. It's easy to overlook because of all the light flooding the room. See all of the tiles on the wall. Each time you hit one, a platform appears from the wall, though briefly. Run up the wall and as you hit the tile, leap backwards. Do this all the way up until you reach a bar. Climb up onto the bar and leap to the ladder. Move to the other side of the ladder and climb up. You are so close, can you taste it? Minty. It's time for another rousing battle. What can really be said at this point? You know your enemies, you know their weak spots. Stay away from Sarah as much as possible to keep your enemies from swarming her. If she cries out, give her help, otherwise worry about your own business. Take them all down, 16 blacksmiths and 9 large warriors, and show Sarah just how studly you really are. There's a water fountain up the steps from the save point. Drink up and continue up the steps to find the retrieve. Now that you are powered up, head back down the steps to the save point, where you have a very fancy vision. Walkthrough, Part 33. At last we are here, save 33. To gain access to the tower, you'll need to move quickly. Get used to this quick moving thing, as it's going to be a repeating theme throughout the last stretch of the game. From the save point, head up the steps and walk over the white tile. This temporarily raises a stone block in the yard. Go down the steps to the left and climb the block. Wall run to the wood awning and hit the tile. This raises another block at the opposite end of the yard. Quickly drop off the awning and climb the block. Wall run to the right and get to another wood landing. This one has a crate. Give the crate a gentle shove and push it across the yard until it is directly underneath the orange tile. Climb the crate and run up the wall to kick the tile. Head through the gate, snagging the retrieve that's just beyond. As you cross the bridge, vultures attack. This time, however, they do not attack one at a time. Your strategy does not change. Block an attack and then strike before the buzzard can gain altitude. Once they're dissolved, continue on into the tower. To the right is a retrieve. Grab it then head along the uneventful corridor. At the last turn, you'll see a rather obvious breakable wall. Smash it down, take a journey to the mystical fountain. Once you're back in reality, enter the next room for a frenetic battle. Sarah runs into the center of the room, despite your protests. Women. Follow her. As soon as you reach the girl, the elevator begins to move upwards. Yes, that's right, you are in an elevator. If there's one thing you should have learned by now, if it seems like a trap, it is a trap. And sure enough, the elevator is a trap. You will be facing blue knights, blacksmiths and large warriors in this elevator. There are 30 of them, 12 blue knights, 12 blacksmiths and 6 large warriors, but the good news is, there's never more than 4 on screen at one time. The hard part isn't keeping yourself alive during this ridiculously long battle, it's keeping Sarah breathing. Because of some camera problems, it's best to play this battle in the landscape view exclusively. Though you don't get to see the action up close and personal, you can keep a tab on Sarah and all of your enemies and with no camera troubles. Do your best to always lead the enemies away from Sarah, but keep an eye out. Anytime an enemy turns towards her, hurry to Sarah's aid. Your most useful power is the power of restraint. It's not just about being able to cut up enemies, but the power of restraint will let you free enemies who have you cornered so you can hurry to help Sarah. In fact, it's a better plan to freeze 1 or 2 enemies and attack the unfrozen ones first. Then as the others start to thaw, attack them quickly and take them down. This is a long, hard battle and the 2 water fountains are totally useless because of the ferocity of the battle. If you or Sarah take excessive damage from 1 or 2 blows, do not hesitate to rewind. Consider this your best chance to heal mid-battle. Once your enemies, 12 blue knights, 12 blacksmiths and 6 large warriors are defeated and the elevator stops, run up the wall and jump when you reach the white mark. You'll grab a lever and open the elevator door. Head into the treasure room and save your game immediately. Good job on that fight. Walkthrough, Part 34 The Hourglass, Save 34. For better or worse, it's time for you to get to the top of the hourglass and do some mojo with the dagger. Walk along the path until it abruptly ends. You'll be right above the save point. Move against the wall and climb onto the ledge. Use wall runs to cross the gaps. You'll come to a stained glass window with a nearby bar. Run along the glass and leap to the bar, then swing and jump to the hourglass. Following the cutscene, we'll let you discover what happens. You and Sarah end up far below the Tower of Dawn. In the darkness you talk. When you finally find light, Sarah is gone. There's an open sarcophagus, so, taking a gamble, you drop down. As you take control of the prince once more, your first mission is to head down a long winding staircase. The strange room you've entered, with Sarah calling for you from an apparent void, is a tricky one to solve. There are 7 doors, plus the entrance. You must enter the correct doors in the correct order to get to the second level and then do the same thing in the second level. Enter the wrong room and you'll end up at the entrance, having to do the whole thing over again. Check out the image below and follow the order for rooms to enter. The entrance is the only door that has a stone face above it. Level 1. Take door 4 and arrive at door 2. Take door 7 and arrive at door 5. Take door 3 and arrive at door 6. Take door 1 and arrive at the entrance on level 2. Once you're on the second level, check out the picture below and follow the instructions to find Sarah. Level 2. Take door 4 to arrive at door 7. Take door 9 to arrive at door 1. Take door 5 to find Sarah. Enjoy the cutscene that follows. You may want to wait until your mom or girlfriend or both are away, so you can enjoy this one all alone. What happens? Oh, you know. Things. You awaken alone in a tomb, without any weapons. How many times does that have to happen to a man before he wises up? Sheesh. Well, you did it all for the Nuki. Problem is, there are blue knights advancing on the room. Fortunately, they really just look at you menacingly. Run past them and into the room with the many mirrors. The blue knights don't follow. There's a sword here, one that is ridiculously powerful, but you'll need to solve the room's puzzle before it can be yours. There are 4 movable mirrors in the room and also 4 stained spots. Easy, right? As you enter the room, grab the mirror straight ahead and move it back slightly so it is on the stain. Then go to the mirror on the left and move it right, past the mirror you just moved, to the stain on the right side of the room. Adjust the mirror until the light bounces off it and project to the back end of the room. Go to the mirror in the far corner and move it to the left when facing the altar onto the stain. Lastly, move the final mirror onto the last stain. Adjust the last 2 mirrors you were moving until the light shines on the symbol below the altar. It will glow yellow. This causes the defense system to vanish so you can grab the sword. This new sword can destroy walls and doors with one swing and is powerful enough to dust sand demons with a single blow. However, this is not the same as your dagger, so you are currently powerless. That's right, you can't rewind, freeze enemies or slow time. You can break down the wooden door with your sword if you want to, but best to head back to the tomb and strike down a trio of blue knights. They can still block your attack, but a single hit will eviscerate them. Once they are obliterated, go to the save point. You've earned yourself another vision. Walkthrough, Part 35 The Tomb, Save 35. Now that you've saved, return to the mirror room. Check out the big crack in the wall. Looks like Sarah's sweeter self was here. Go to the wooden door and slice it with your sword. One slash is all it takes. Step onto the walkway and you'll get a good view of what's ahead. Oh, and you'll see Sarah making for the Tower of Dawn. Run along the wall to the bar and then swing from bar to bar, using the wall as a springboard. Make your final leap to the stage where the enemies are visibly roaming. It's time to give your new sword a true test. Remember that you have no powers, so if you goof on a jump and fall, you have to start all over again. So don't goof. This is an easy fight. With one swing you can kill anyone. No joke. Be careful with the blue knights as you'll need to maintain your health since you have no rewinds. Block and attack. This is a delicious piece of cake. When your enemies, 9 blue knights and 11 small warriors, are dissolved, head to the save point for yet another vision. Walkthrough, Part 36, Sarah, come back. Save 36. It's clear that Sarah is headed back to the tower and you're gonna have to climb all the way up. Holy criminy. Before you go, however, there's an extra goodie you can get. Facing the cliff, drop off the left side of the platform you're on. Drop down onto the ledge. Make your way to the left, dropping down to the lowest ledge when you can. When part of the ledge breaks, stop. Right below you is a beam. Drop down onto it. Tiptoe to the T intersection and jump to grab the bar. Swing and jump up and you'll pull yourself into the secret room. See the door? Smash it and head through. This takes you to another mystical water fountain where you gain extra health. To get back to the save point, or run up to the white marking and jump to grab the lever. This opens a trap door above. Turn to face the door and swing to another bar. Swing from the bar to the door and as you hit the door, jump backwards and you'll grab the edge of the hole and pull yourself out. It's probably a good idea to save again so you don't have to do that a second time. Now you're ready to start your climb. You aren't even climbing the tower yet, just the way up to the bridge. The hard stuff comes later. Move to the right end of the cliff and jump to grab the ledge. You'll be shimmying up to the left and then the right to make it to solid ground once more. Easy stuff by now. Head to the column and climb it, then leap off to the next. Position yourself so your back is facing the beam to the right. Jump to them and then leap to the bar. Move as far left on the bar as possible and swing to the beam sticking out from the roof. Bats attack. You know what to do. With the bats dead, move as far along the beam as possible, then drop to the platform below. Head through the doorway and you're faced with an obvious ping-pong puzzle. You need to run straight up one wall then jump off to the next and bounce between the two until you grab the ledge. Climb up and then run straight up the wall, jumping backwards at the peak to grab the next ledge. Pull yourself up and you are now atop the bridge. It's time for another easy battle. Don't get cocky though. There are 20 of them, 10 blue knights and 10 small warriors in this battle. You need your health and it's easy to ignore blocking when enemies die so easily. Your best bet is to roll dodge behind the blue knights and strike. Take down the enemies and fill up on water, which is in the left corner. Head for the save point. Walkthrough, Part 37, climbing the Tower of Dawn. Save 37. Now the real challenge begins. Start your platforming engine. Go to the right corner of the tower. There you can run straight up the wall and jump off to the bar. Turn around far to the wall, swing and release, then jump as you hit the wall to vault to the beam above. Move across the beam and grab the ledge above. Make your way onto the beam with the green flag, and leap across to the other flag beam. Move to the wall and head as far left on the ledge as you can. Jump to the column hanging down. From this column leap to the next. Climb to the top of the column and the camera changes, looking down through a hole. You need to leap to the wall and then jump from the wall to the edge of the hole. Pull yourself up and you're one small step closer to the top. Facing the tower, head left and edge along the wall. Bats come, so take care of them before continuing around. When you get to the end of the ledge, Drop down. There's an alley with a few stones laying on the ground. Enter. It's time for the Mario portion of this long climb. Hopefully you've refined your skills, because once you get too high, a misstep will lead to a start over at the bottom. Once you reach the ledge, climb up and move across. Some bats come, so dust them with your sword. Move to the flag beam and leap across to the next. Tightrope walk your booty to the ledge and make your way to the decorative metal. Drop down to the long bar below and shimmy until you can shimmy no more. Your next death-defying feat is to leap to the wall and vault off to grab the metal beam above. Carefully make your way right along the ledge. Get to the flag beam and, like before, leap to the one across from it. Continue along the ledge to another alley. Once again you must ricochet to the ledge on the right, but to fall here is instant death, meaning you must start from the beginning all over again. Once you are on the ledge, shimmy until you can pull yourself up. Make your way to the top ledge and leap to the ledge across the gap. Get to the highest ledge. As you move across, some parts break, forcing you to drop to the lowest ledge. Move along the ledges, climbing higher whenever you can until you are at the end of the top ledge. Leap to the bar and then swing from bar to bar until you land on the remains of a tower. Tiptoe across until a wall blocks your path. Drop and grab the edge of the tower and shimmy through the broken section of the tower. You need to get to the door at the below, so leap to the nearby wall and then bounce back and force to slowly descend. Once you are on the ground, head through the doorway. Step on the yellow tile to open the gate across the way. As soon as you do, part of the walkway collapses. No problem. Run along the wall to cross the gap and get through the door before it closes. There are 2 broken ladders in this tower, but fortunately they are perfectly aligned on the wall to allow you to jump between the 2. Climb and jump back and forth along the ladder. Bats will pester you from time to time. They should never be ignored, just killed. When you reach the top, there's a battle to be won. Fight about 25 enemies, 11 blue knights and 14 blacksmiths, using your roll dodge to get around their blocks. With all 25 enemies dust in the wind, you can head to the right for a drink of water. Once you are refreshed, go to the left and climb the debris. Oh yes, taste the delicious vision. Walkthrough, Part 38. The setting sun, save 38. Remember that half wall you leaped over to get to the save point. Get back on top of it and climb up the wooden pole. From the top of the wooden pole, leap to the bar. Swing across the next bar and then to the final long bar. As you do, part of the wall breaks free. Shimmy along the bar all the way to the end, so you are facing the newly created crack in the wall. Swing and leap to the wall. Make your way to the right and leap up to the higher ledge on the cracked wall. Leap from the wall to the metal beam ahead. Make your way left and run along the wall to clear the gap. Do this across the next gaps, then walk along the beam to the broken column. As you edge along the column, prepare for your toughest Mario yet. Move as far along the edge as you can. Swing the camera so you can see into as much of the column as possible, then leap against the wall and bounce back and forth to the top. This one may take you a few tries, as the camera can get a bit wiggy. Facing the tower, you can go to the right to find a fountain in the gazebo. Otherwise, head left. Run along the wall. You can't run the next wall because it's damaged, so take the walkway. Some bats attack, but big whoop. Make your way across the plank and then follow the walkway. Run the wall to cross the next gap as you continue progressing to the left. Next up is the old wall. Run to a leap. Only, without your rewind powers, this one isn't so automatic. Fortunately, if you fall and die you start right where you're standing now. Phew. Run the full length of the wall before jumping. Don't get tricked by a camera change. Wait until you are at the end of the wall and then jump. Climb to the top of the column and then leap off onto the flat green top of the gazebo. Climb its pointy pole and leap to the bar on the wall. Swing from the bar to the platform above. Walk to the right and you'll find an easy wall run to a jump to reach the ladder. Jump when the ladder obstructs your camera from view as you wall run. Climb up the ladder, leap to the pole, and then jump through the hole. This is almost the end of your journey. You manage to arrive just in time. Sarah is in some serious trouble. What happens next is our little secret, but you now have the dagger and Sarah is no longer able to provide backup. There are 25 sand demons armed with large scimitar swords to fight, but you have the mighty sword and the power of the sands of time. The only problem is the dagger is empty. You'll need to refill as you fight. You can win this battle even without refilling the dagger, thanks to your incredibly powerful sword. However, if you want to get some sands of time goodness, keep evading your enemy attacks. Remember, one hit from your sword kills your enemy instantly and you lose the sand. However, your clumsy enemies will knock themselves to the ground. Evade and then stab them when they fall. You can also perform counter-retrieves if you're skilled. But, honestly, you don't need the dagger's power to win this match. When your enemies are vanquished, you get a very strange vision. Save your game. Afterwards, a long cutscene begins after which you end up in Sarah's bedroom fighting the evil Vizier. How'd that happen? Watch and discover for yourself. Walkthrough, Part 39 Honor and Glory, Save 39. This is it, the moment you've been waiting for, the final battle against the Vizier. The wicked Vizier is a sorcerer, but he only uses 2 spells during your battle. As the fight begins, the Vizier casts a protection spell over himself, which lasts for the duration of the battle inside Sarah's bedroom. For his second trick, the Vizier creates a hologram of himself to battle you. Don't bother striking at the original Vizier, as you cannot harm him. He is old, however, and casting spells takes a lot out of him. If you force him to keep cloning himself, he'll eventually tire, providing you with an opening. You need to beat 3 clones of the Vizier, but they only come one at a time, making for an easy battle. Don't bother with your dagger, its powers aren't needed for this fight. The clone blocks most of your frontal attacks. Instead, wait for him to strike. His strikes are slow and easy to see coming, and roll dodge to the side and then attack. Most of the time you can leap over the clone and attack in midair without taking damage. In fact, it's so reliable that you can do this the entire battle jumping over the clone again and again, that you won't lose ever half your health when all is said and done. Once a hologram is destroyed, ignore the desire to rush at the Vizier. He still cannot be harmed. The clones fight the same from 1 to 3, so continue your same tactic. It takes about 10 hits to destroy a clone or hologram. After the 3rd is smacked down, the Vizier gasps for air and in a cutscene you knock him onto the balcony. When you regain control of the prince, it's time for a final showdown between you and the Vizier. This couldn't be any easier. The Vizier won't even strike you. Swing your sword a few times and he goes down for good. While the final fight is, well, not so exciting, the ending cinematic is very cool. Watch and enjoy. Congrats on beating Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.